Hello my beautiful people. Welcome back to Gist and Smile TV, your number one spot for stories that make you think, smile, and say, wow, I didn't see that coming. Now, today's gist is one that has quietly taken over the internet, and when I say quietly, I mean it literally. Because sometimes it's not the noise that causes a stir, but the silence that follows it. Let's talk about Maurice Sam and that unexpected, silent visit to Sonia's film house in Abuja that got everyone talking without a single word being said. You know how Maurice Sam is, charming, lively, open, and always giving fans little glimpses of his world. He's the kind of celebrity who doesn't hide too much from the public. From movie sets to fun hangouts, behind-the-scenes clips, and even random goofy moments, Maurice is known for letting his fans in. He loves to share joy, and people love him for that openness. But this time, something changed. Something different happened, something that made fans pause and say, wait, what's going on? Because this visit to Sonia's film house came with complete silence. No selfies, no funny captions, no videos, no stories, absolutely nothing. And you know how the internet works, when you don't talk, the internet talks for you. At first, people didn't even know he was in Abuja. The news started circulating quietly, like a whisper in the wind. Did you know Maurice Sam was spotted at Sonia's film house? Then it grew louder. People started asking, what's he doing there? Why so private? Now, here's the interesting part, Maurice didn't say a single thing. He didn't confirm or deny. No comment, no post. Just total silence. And you see, that silence became the loudest thing he's done all year. Because when someone who usually shares everything suddenly goes quiet, people take notice. It made everyone wonder, was this just a casual visit? A friendly catch-up? Or something deeper, something emotional, something that required peace and privacy? In this generation where people post every little thing online, from meals to moods, Maurice's silence felt like a mystery worth solving. It made people curious. And that curiosity, oh, it spread fast. Fans began to form their own versions of what might have happened. Some said it was work-related, maybe a movie collaboration. Others believed it was personal, maybe something emotional that didn't need cameras. A few even whispered that it could be a moment of reconciliation or a heart-to-heart. But here's the beauty of it, no matter what the reason was, the silence spoke volumes. It didn't need pictures or videos. It didn't need words. The move itself said enough. Sometimes, silence is not emptiness, it's power. And Maurice Sam just reminded everyone of that in the most elegant way. Let's take a deeper look at why this visit shook social media. The truth is, in the entertainment industry, people often equate activity with relevance. Post a photo, trend. Drop a teaser, trend. Attend a party, trend. But Maurice just proved that sometimes doing nothing can make the loudest noise. He didn't post a thing, yet he was trending everywhere. Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, fans couldn't stop talking about him and Sonia. The moment the gist dropped that he visited her film house, the reactions flooded in. New movie loading. Something is definitely cooking. They are back together. Could this be the next big Nollywood hit? Fans went wild with their theories, and honestly, you can't blame them. Because when it comes to Maurice and Sonia, there's always chemistry, deep, emotional, and authentic chemistry that's hard to fake. Let's not forget their on-screen magic. Whether it's a romantic scene or a dramatic one, their connection always feels real. It's that kind of partnership that pulls you in emotionally. You feel their bond, you believe their story, and you root for them even when the camera stops rolling. So when news broke that Maurice had quietly visited Sonia's film house, fans didn't even wait to confirm before they started celebrating. For them, it wasn't just a visit. It was a sign. A sign that maybe, just maybe, another masterpiece was on the way. Maybe they are cooking a romantic drama. Maybe it's a sequel to one of their hit movies. Maybe they are finally collaborating again after a long break. Everyone had something to say. Everyone had a theory. And the more they guessed, the more Maurice and Sonia stayed silent, fueling the curiosity even more. Now let's talk about the possibility that this silence wasn't accidental. Because if you look closely, it might just be part of something bigger. Think about it, no posts, no captions, no press release. Yet they both trended. Fans started revisiting their old movies, sharing clips, quoting scenes, and gushing about their chemistry. That's not just attention. That's impact. So maybe, just maybe, this was a smart move, a form of subtle marketing that used silence as a strategy. Instead of shouting, they whispered. And that whisper turned into a roar online. That's how legends move. Quietly, but effectively. Even if it wasn't planned, the result was perfect. Both of them are back in the spotlight, being talked about on every blog, every timeline, every gist page, and they didn't even lift a finger. Now that's what you call smart influence. But let's not overlook Sonia in this whole story. Because while Maurice's silence drew attention, Sonia's calmness made the story even more powerful. Sonia is one of those rare people who remind you that calm doesn't mean weak. Her peace is her power. When the internet buzzes with rumors, she doesn't rush to explain or argue. She simply observes, listens, and moves with grace. That's emotional maturity. That's confidence. Remember when she said she's never dated an actor? She didn't drag the issue or throw shade. She just stated it clearly and kept it moving. That quiet truth spoke louder than any argument could. And that's why fans respect her so much. She's not chasing clout or validation. She knows her worth, and she doesn't let noise define her. In a world full of loud voices and constant drama, Sonia stands out for her composure. Her silence isn't confusion, it's clarity. Her calm isn't weakness, it's strength. She's the perfect balance of peace and power. And let's be honest, that's part of what makes her so magnetic. She doesn't have to chase attention, attention finds her. Because authenticity always attracts people. When someone is genuine, they don't have to say too much. Their energy speaks for them. That's exactly how Sonia moves. Her calmness invites curiosity. People want to know what she's thinking, what she's planning, and how she manages to stay composed in all situations. Her silence has become her signature. And it works. Every time she's quiet, her name trends even louder. So now, with this quiet meeting between her and Maurice, the attention has doubled. Fans are watching every little thing, a post, a quote, a look, and trying to decode the meaning behind it. But here's the thing, silence doesn't always mean secrets. Sometimes it simply means peace. Maybe this meeting was purely professional. Maybe it was personal. Or maybe it was both, a blend of friendship, respect, and creativity. Because when two people share such strong chemistry, it's hard for their connection not to spark discussions. Even when they're not trying, people still talk. And that's what's happening now. Maurice and Sonia didn't announce anything, yet everyone's watching, waiting, and wondering what's next. Their story feels unfinished, like there's still something more to come. Maybe a new project. Maybe a new face. Whatever it is, this visit feels like the beginning of another chapter. Now here's the beautiful irony, in an age where everyone is shouting for attention, Maurice and Sonia chose peace. They chose quietness. And that quietness made them trend louder than any celebrity scandal could. That's the power of calculated silence. They didn't need to pose to make a point. They didn't need to explain to stay relevant. Their calmness became the story. It's not luck, it's awareness. Awareness of their influence. Awareness of timing. Awareness of how to move smart in a noisy world. When you understand your worth, you don't rush to speak. You let your actions and your energy do the talking. And that's exactly what Maurice and Sonia did. So whether this was a professional meeting, a personal reconnection, or just a quiet catch-up between two talented souls, one thing is clear, they've reminded everyone that silence is not weakness. Silence is power. They achieved what most people chase every day, attention without announcement. Without saying a word, they sparked conversations, trended online, revived old memories, and reminded the world that sometimes, peace is the most powerful form of publicity. Let's wrap this up with one final thought, my people. In a world that constantly rewards noise, Maurice and Sonia have proven that mystery still has magic. That privacy can still pull attention. And that you don't have to post everything to remain relevant. Their story, or should I say, their silence, became the gist of the week. And the beauty of it all. They didn't do anything loud. They didn't shout. They simply existed with grace, and the world noticed. That's the art of quiet influence. So, whether they're working on a movie, reconnecting as friends, or simply sharing a peaceful moment away from the spotlight, one thing is certain, Maurice, Sam and Sonia have mastered the balance between fame and peace. And that's a lesson many celebrities can learn from, that sometimes, the calmest moves create the loudest echoes. Because when mystery meets influence, you don't just trend, you captivate. Sparkle. So guys, that's the gist for today on Gist and Smile TV. Remember to like, share, and subscribe for more stories that inspire, surprise, and keep your gist senses tingling. Until next time, stay peaceful, stay curious, and never forget, sometimes silence speaks louder than any post. Bye for now, my lovely people. Yellow Heart.